The sight of it makes my hooves curl up. Didn't the owls know how to build proper statues? Or did the creatures depicted here really look like that? Could there still be completely unexplored corners of our world? Whatever lies beyond, we'll have no choice but to go in, or my parents and all the other animals will be lost. I hope my parents are still okay. Looks like Flintstone. There must be something mysterious behind it. The statue has notches on its limbs. I wonder if you can move them.
Don't get past.
He won't see us in this corner. Where'd that giant two-legged machine go? A thing that size can't just disappear on an island this small. Did it just vanish into thin air?
If it didn't sound so absolutely stupid, it could totally be the case here. What's going on here?
That must have been there for ages. You can't even tell what was once written on it. He's looking nervously at the river. Greetings, squirrel.
Hey, shh! You two better watch out. There's something dangerous in the water.
You look pretty tense.
Believe me, you would be too if you were in my situation. Ever since those monsters showed up here, our squirrel tribe has been in an uproar. And today, I have been chosen to monitor the river to warn the others if necessary. You never know when those creatures might approach our tree.
What's the situation here?
Can't you see I don't want to talk about it?
I believe you. Actually, I feel the same way.
Can I tell you a funny squirrel joke to lighten the mood?
Oh no, please don't! The punchline will be all about your nuts!
What the? How did you know that?
Have you seen the wolves?
A few hours ago, I saw several boats docked on the coast. I'm going to assume that those figures in them were the wolves you're talking about.
Yeah, that's about right.
Strange guys. They scoured the entire area and broke into the ancient site of the owls. No one has been in there for centuries. After that, they set up a tent camp at the other end of the island. A certain female wolf caught my eye. She wore a green robe and was constantly being pushed around by the others. Also, they did something with those towers. But I have no idea what exactly. It must have had a connection to the old site.
Can you tell us about the area?
Oh, you're asking the right guy. I know every good place to hide nuts within many kilometers.
Oh, thank you, but I'm afraid that's not what we're looking for.
Why not? Winter is coming.
Do you know anything more specific about the old site?
Oh, you're interested in those boring old things. Well, let me think. All I know is that the site must have once belonged to a city of owls, but now little remains. You see those rocks there? Those must be the last remnants of the city. Something of great importance is said to be hidden deep beneath the site. But don't ask me what exactly.
Hey, that sounds good. What do you know about the towers?
Honestly, I'm a bit confused by the towers. They've been there for many centuries, looking all worn down. And they're not particularly easy to climb either. That aside, you can't even use them to store nuts. The gaps between the bricks are simply too narrow. I'm sure those towers once served a purpose. But these days, they're only giving this island a pretty unpleasant vibe, I guess.
What can you tell us about the Wall of Fog?
Without that stupid old wall of fog, you would certainly have a great view here. Admittedly, I do find it a bit creepy. It is said that no one has ever reached the other side of it, as if some unknown law of nature prevents anyone who dares from doing so. I once threw a nut in there to test whether the fog was a suitable storing place. However, I could not even hear the sound of the nut hitting the ground. It just seemed to disappear.
Good thing I didn't plan to go camping there anytime soon.
Different subject. We're from Vela Hill.
Ah, Vela Hill. A beautiful spot. I have never been there myself. What's the situation like over there?
Not one bit different from here, unfortunately.
Not even your king could do anything? Oh my, it's all very exasperating.
We have to go.
Don't let those things get you.
Watch out, current. Oops! It's stuck in the stone. However, I don't think I need a musty old stick. A deep, thorny bush. Are those thorns moving?
Finn, don't get too close to those. I know these kinds of thorns. The pricks they give you are extremely toxic.
Feels weird to still have walked among green trees in Vela Hill this morning. And now, here we are, standing amidst snow-covered spruce trees. Her beak is all bent from years of knocking. And the tree stump is full of hungrily gnawing woodworms. Aw, I can't catch them! They're way too fast! I'll never get the thorns out with my bare hoof. Hello up there, Mrs. Woodpecker.
Greetings, young travelers. Are you looking for someone by any chance?
How do you know that?
Just a guess. Roughly half an hour ago, there were some terrible things going on here. A green-robed wolf with white fur was badly mauled by a group of other wolves and then left in the midst of these thorns.
Charlena? She's in there?
We have to get her out of there.
I flew into the thicket of thorns shortly after to talk to her, but she seemed unresponsive.
Oh dear, that doesn't sound good.
Thanks for the info anyway, Miss Woodpecker.
One does what one can.
Can you tell us about the area?
The area? What can I help you with?
Do you know anything about the giant wall of fog?
I have always stayed away from that wall of fog. I don't know anything specific about it, but the unnatural density of it alone always seemed eerie to me. I've heard that after a few seconds of flying into it, you can't even see your own wings in front of your face anymore. It's like you enter a strange, dangerous world the deeper you venture into it.
Do you know anything about the three towers?
Most find them quite impressive, but I myself have always found them more spooky. You can literally sense the air of dark, long-gone centuries in their vicinity. An air filled with the ancient scent of unrevealed secrets and mysterious events, which no one can identify anymore. In my younger and, let's say, wilder years, I once flew near the top of one of these towers to prove myself in a test of courage. I saw an opening leading inside on its wall, very far at the top. However, the strong wind kept me from flying in. I probably wouldn't have gotten far anyway. A large ornate gate was located further back inside the opening. Apart from that, all of my feathers stood on end. The wind was howling fearsomely, as if the tower tried to scare me away, to keep me from looking deeper inside it.
Do you know anything about the ancient site of the owls?
The site? Oh, I lack deeper historical knowledge about that. However, the giant owl statue above it has always impressed me. By the way, I met my lovely husband on its head back in the day. It was such a beautiful evening. It was just us two woodpeckers, looking out over the sea at sunset, dreaming about the tastiest worms. What I wouldn't give to be able to sit up there with him one more time.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's talk about something else.
Oh, sure.
The woodworms seem to be doing pretty well over there.
Oh, those little rascals are much quicker and nimble these days. And sadly, I'm not the youngest anymore.
We'll be on our way.
May you always find a nice fat worm in every tree.
Welcome to Frostville. You suffered severe bleeding and fatal injuries in the wilderness? Visit Stenik the Healer at the bottom of the stone stairs today.
What do you want?
We're passing through and need help.
Come inside.
Finn, this guy is giving me some serious "I'll kill you and keep your skull as a teacup" vibes. I don't know if we can trust him.
Come here. So, you need help. The customs of this place are foreign to you, aren't they?
Well, we,
Why should we help you? You who cowardly dare to enter our village. Actually, we should rob you and then throw you into the sea.
what?
We won't bother you any longer.
Be quiet. You will not earn our help until you master an ancient trial.
Trial?
If you fail, deserved death awaits you.
Oh no, please. Have mercy!
Are you ready? Here, I have 2 dolls made of straw. One on the left, and one on the right.
Wait, from my direction or yours?
From yours. It is not difficult to see that they are scaled-down replicas of a brave and ancient warrior of our tribe. But only one of the dolls was made by a true master of his craft. Which one is it?
It's the
Finn, are you sure? Better take a closer look.
the left one.
Got you! I just wanted to see which of the 2 dolls you thought was prettier. Both are made by me, you know. I am an artist.
What the?
Reiner, you can leave again. But be careful with the door. Darn it. Feel right at home, you two.
Fancy iron boots! The armor seems to have been made for a wild boar.
This is the armor of Gulliver Grunt, a notorious enemy of my great-grandfather. After Gulliver was defeated in combat, our family received the armor as a trophy. Please don't touch it. It is my lucky charm. Are you here because of these horrible machines?
Yeah, something like that. With whom do I have the honor?
Sven Slaughterson is my name. My hoof-made straw dolls are known all over the area.
So, you're an artist?
You recognized my talent right away, didn't you?
Somehow you don't look like that at all.
My father was a fearless warrior and wanted me to follow in his footsteps. But swinging an axe strains your arms, ruins your hairstyle, and makes all your clothes dirty. Just think of the endless hours spent in the washboard trying to get your enemy's blood out again. So I dedicated my life to something else. The fine arts.
Incredible!
I dig that. A true rebel.
Tell me about your great art projects.
Years ago, I had a really innovative project in development. However, I had to end my work on it prematurely. I wanted to create a completely new form of entertainment, an interactive play.
Wow, that sounds exciting.
You were supposed to be able to shout out commands to the main actor during the performance, whereupon he would carry them out. This way, you as the viewer would be able to move the story forward and have every conceivable action performed.
Ingenious! But why did nothing come of it?
The planning phase alone was a nightmare. How do you tell a coherent story when the viewer is able to make the main character do completely inappropriate things at every opportunity? Every possible action led to a change in the course of the story, which had to be planned. And what if the hero of the performance was supposed to talk to another character? All the possible dialogue had to be planned out as well. At times, it was also necessary for the main character to pick up items and use them. And there were more and more items. I had to get a tailor to help me make the pockets of the hero's costume bigger. I also had to paint the backgrounds as well as decor for each new scene you could visit. I first planned to only have 40 locations, but in the end, it turned to 80.
Rad!
I also wanted to write the music myself. No one else was supposed to interfere with my vision. Before I knew it, I was completely burned out. lying huddled on the floor of my workshop like a whimpering sack. During the first test performances, viewers were frustrated by the moments when they didn't know what to do. So they started trying everything and let the main character run from one place to another until the performer collapsed from exhaustion. But if I had constantly given clues to solve the puzzles, the performance would have been over much too quickly. I think our time is not yet right for something like that.
Hey, I think this medium certainly has its appeal. For a rather special type of animal, at least.
Maybe you're right.
Could I borrow a straw doll?
But of course, don't be shy.
Thank you. Can you help us on our journey? An imposing guy like you would certainly be helpful in all kinds of dangers.
Dangers? Oh, you want me to fight?
Well, not necessarily, but...
I'm sorry, but I can't. Also, the freezing cold air out there hurts my sensitive little nostrils. And above all, what if I get dirty?
Oh my.
And what about Reiner, who was in here earlier?
He prefers to hole up in his hat. Believe me, he's no help to you either.
Aw, come on.
I kinda already expected that.
To move on to another topic. Can you tell me something about the area?
You are literally at the end of the world here. Apart from that, this island has always been a keeper of many secrets since the beginning of time. The land has been home to the 3 towers, the old owl site, and the huge wall of fog.
What do you know about the site?
Just like the towers, it is said to have been here since the beginning of time. We suspected that some owls used to live there and hid something beneath it. However, the entrance to the site seemed to be mysteriously locked. No one ever managed to get in there, except for the wolves recently.
What do you know about the Wall of Fog?
Unfortunately, just what every other animal here knows. It encircles our entire world and marks its end. There have been numerous attempts in the past to move through the fog. However, they all failed because the conditions within the fog became increasingly hostile the deeper one ventured in. Since then, it has been claimed that every law of nature known to us ceases to exist within the fog. As if, from a certain point on, everything starts to dissolve into a vast nothingness.
To move on to another topic. Did you notice the wolves?
Oh, yes, I did. Some of them had raided our village a few hours ago. Apart from that, they have entered the ancient site of the owls, an act that had been considered impossible for ages. I heard that they were only able to do so because they carried some old documents with them.
That's right, and I have a feeling they're going to do even worse. Were the machines already here?
Awful, just awful. No one knew where they came from or what they want. Large parts of the island have already been depopulated by these monsters. In this village we might still be safe, but that will probably change soon.
See you later!
Feel free to take anything that can help you.
A stone pedestal firmly attached to the wall of the house. That picture is flipped towards the wall.
Well, how do I explain this? I put all my artistic energy into this picture and worked on it for hours. The muse seemed to be in my favor. Every detail added up to something great on the canvas. I then finished my day's work and intended to complete it the next morning. But little did I suspect the hideous curse that would once again sink its claws into my work.
Oh no, what happened?
When I looked at it the next day with a fresh set of eyes, it appeared to me as a grotesque still life out of a fever dream. Pure ugliness loomed in front of me, as if the picture had been infected overnight with the concentrated vileness of a garbage dump. The now obvious errors in the image composition tortured my poor artist's soul like 1,000 prickly needles. From that day on, I hung it on the wall like that, and promised to never look at the disgusting piece of work again.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, typical artists.
Careful with the door, please. Hey, stop that! Are you crazy? The beautiful armor! Ah, you have completely destroyed it!
I'm sorry.
Although, actually, it was quite ugly. And a dust catcher to boot. Finally, I have a reason to throw it away. Leave it there, I'll just sweep it away later.